On my right here is clean drinking water, just like it's supposed to be ideally, you see, clean. On my left though is a sample of water my colleague collected from Ennore, where oil spill has contaminated the water, and look how it looks, black. Enough has been said about how the oil spill happened and how it traversed its way from the CPCL to Ennore Creek and into the Bay of Bengal, but let me tell you how contaminated the water is because of the oil spill. So after collecting the sample, we got this tested in the lab and the report was shocking. Let me tell you, it was nothing less than shocking, so hear me out. On your screen is the report of the sample we collected at Nettukuppam, the point at Kosastale River before it gets to Ennore Creek and eventually the Bay of Bengal. The report sheds light on the presence of several chemical compounds and several hazardous ones too, and let me decode it for you. The report compared the sample with drinking water standards, and I compared it with the effluent standards set for marine coastal waters under the Environment Protection Rules 1986 too, because the water from Kosastale River is used by the people in North Chennai, be it Nettukuppam, Kattukuppam or Ennore for that matter. So the chemical analysis clearly shows that the odor and color of the water sample do not match the standards, be it drinking water or marine water. The odor is supposed to be from none to a tolerable level, which in this case is clearly not. The water is ideally supposed to be colorless, but as you can see, look at this, it's black. Next, oil and grease. The presence of oil and grease in the sample stood at 866 milligrams per liter as opposed to a maximum limit of 10 milligrams per liter. It is important to understand the sample was taken from the Kosastale River, which is supposed to be clean water. In the report, you see the limit is mentioned as not more than 10. That is drinking water specification. Schedule 1 of the Environment Protection Rules 1986 for marine coastal waters has set the standard at 0.1 milligrams per liter because it affects fish eggs and larvae. Either way, 866 milligrams per liter of oil and grease is way too high to be present in water, as you can see. Apart from this, the chemical analysis showed the presence of calcium, magnesium, alkalinity, iron and nitrates all above the specified standards. For example, iron should be at 3 milligrams per liter in marine coastal areas, but the report shows 44 milligram per liter, 44 milligram per liter of iron in the sample. Now this is what the chemical analysis showed. The more worrying part of the report is the test for volatile organic compounds. As you can see, volatile compounds like O-xylene, styrene, chloroform, benzene etc. have been found in excessive levels. Here is what these volatile compounds can do to you. O-xylene, exposure to this can irritate eyes, nose, skin and throat. Styrene, cancer risk when you come in contact. Ethyl benzene, breathing very high levels of this can cause dizziness, throat and eye irritation. Chlorobenzene, long-term exposure of human beings to chlorobenzene affects the central nervous system. Chloroform causes progressive central nervous system depression. Benzene, short-term inhalation of high concentrations of benzene can cause headache, dizziness, drowsiness, confusion and unconsciousness in humans. Ingestion of large amounts of benzene may cause vomiting, irritation in the stomach, sleepiness, convulsions, rapid heart rate and death. Toluene, exposure to toluene can cause eye and nose irritation, tiredness, confusion, euphoria and many other problems including insomnia, nerve damage and inflammation of the skin and liver and kidney damage as well. Carbon tetrachloride, the primary effects of this in humans are on liver, kidneys and again the central nervous system. You know what is worrying? People use this river in their daily lives. The fishermen go fishing and their livelihood depends on this. The river flows and neighborhoods are on either side. But anyway, let's get to the third part of the report, which is the test for polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbons. When I learned about the effects of these hydrocarbons, it left me shocked. If you are wondering what would happen to people if they use water with these hydrocarbons mentioned in the report, here is how it may take a toll on your health. Fluorine can irritate and cause a burning sensation in the eyes and skin. Benzene causes cancer. Benz-A-anthracene again causes cancer. Benzoapyrene supposed to be just 0.001 milligram per liter maximum, but the current level is 21.35 milligrams per liter. This causes cancer. Benzobifluoranthene again causes cancer. Benzo-K-fluoranthene, it causes lung and skin cancer. I have only shown you the report of the water sample test taken from Nettukuppam. We also collected samples from Kattukuppam, which wasn't much different either. Now it is important to understand that I have mentioned the standards specified under the environment protection rules just to highlight how hazardous the water is when compared to marine coastal water effluent standards. But the reality is, water from Kosasthala river is used by the people of the region for several purposes. Simply put, the water is supposed to match clean water standards. This means every chemical compound I have mentioned shouldn't exist in the first place. The level of hazardous chemicals in the water bodies in the Ennore region due to this oil spill is alarmingly high. Worryingly, many of the compounds found in the tested sample are not even defined under the environment protection rules. Except benzene, none of the other volatile organic compounds in the report have any specific effluent standard, but they clearly fall in the hazardous category. This raises the question of why measures have not been taken to prevent water bodies from getting affected by the spill. It may be noted that the National Green Tribunal in July 2022 ordered the Environment Department to come up with a detailed project report to study the Ennore Creek and protect wetlands. Ennore Creek wetland is a biodiversity hotspot that hosts more than 100 species of flora, 100 species of birds, fish, turtles and crustaceans among others. It is a fragile ecosystem and highly eco-sensitive too. It acts as a source of livelihood for thousands of families in this region who depend on marine resources. Ennore is not new to facing oil spillage. This happened in 2017 and 2018 too. For several years the issue has remained. But what has been learnt? What steps have been taken to resolve the larger issue? It seems like we'll have to wait and wait for an answer.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.